The man who saved a dying army from starvation and defeat was, at that exact moment, sailing across the Atlantic under a completely fabricated identity. Friedrich Wilhelm von Steuben was born in 1730 in Prussia, raised in a world built entirely around military discipline, cannons, and the rigid order of soldiers. By 17, he had enlisted in the Prussian army. When the 7 Years' War erupted, he served as an infantry officer, eventually earning promotion to captain. He briefly served on the staff of Frederick the Great himself, learning the intricacies of Prussian drill and discipline at the highest level available in Europe. When the war ended, the Prussian military shrank dramatically. Steuben, still a relatively young man, found himself discharged and suddenly without a purpose. The following decade brought nothing but frustration. He took a minor administrative post at a small German court, a title-heavy position with almost no real income. He tried repeatedly to find military work elsewhere in Europe. Every door closed. Peacetime armies across the continent were shrinking, not hiring former officers. By 1777, he was in his late 40s, deeply in debt, and running out of realistic options. A distant war across the ocean was about to change everything. In Paris, he reconnected with a well-placed French official who understood that the American colonies desperately needed experienced European military expertise. That connection led to an introduction with American diplomats in Paris, men who had grown deeply exhausted by unemployed European officers demanding high rank and pay. The first meeting went poorly. One diplomat seemed bored, cut the conversation short, and made clear there was no position available for another foreign volunteer. But French officials saw genuine potential and intervened directly. Together, they crafted a letter of recommendation that stretched the truth considerably in his favor. The letter described him as a lieutenant general, a rank he had never actually held, and exaggerated his personal closeness to Prussia's legendary king considerably. He accepted the fabrication without objection, understanding exactly what was at stake. A former captain would be ignored. A lieutenant general would command instant respect. To make the arrangement even more appealing, he offered to serve entirely without pay, requesting compensation only if American independence was ultimately achieved. He sailed for America that autumn, bringing translators, a military secretary, and an Italian greyhound that would accompany him throughout his entire American journey. When his party landed in New Hampshire that December, local militia nearly arrested them, mistaking their bright clothing for British military uniforms in the confusion. Once the misunderstanding cleared, word of the supposed Prussian general spread quickly. Prominent colonial leaders hosted him warmly, impressed by his commanding presence. In February 1778, he rode into the Continental Army's winter encampment at Valley Forge, an imposing figure on horseback, wearing a gleaming silver decoration. Washington himself rode out personally to greet him. The contrast was striking. A commanding foreign officer meeting an army of barefoot, freezing, starving soldiers. Within 2 weeks, Washington appointed him acting inspector general. What he found while inspecting the camp horrified even a man accustomed to military hardship. Sanitation was disastrous. Drill was inconsistent between regiments. Soldiers barely knew how to march in formation, let alone execute coordinated battlefield maneuvers. Most striking of all, American soldiers had almost no faith in the bayonet as a weapon. Many soldiers used them primarily to cook meat over campfires. Rather than simply issuing written instructions, he selected a small model company of soldiers and made a decision that shocked observers throughout the entire camp. He personally trained these soldiers himself, standing in the mud and cold each morning in full dress uniform, something unheard of for an officer of his claimed rank. He adjusted muskets with his own hands, corrected posture personally, and demonstrated proper marching pace by walking the line again and again until it stuck. When soldiers made mistakes, he erupted in frustration, cursing first in German, then French, then relying on a translator to finish the outburst in English. Rather than resenting this behavior, soldiers found it genuinely entertaining. His willingness to get personally involved built real camaraderie and morale throughout the camp. The model company mastered coordinated drill, formation changes, and bayonet combat within weeks. Then, something remarkable happened that changed the entire trajectory of training. Those trained soldiers returned to their own regiments and became instructors themselves, spreading the training outward like a chain reaction across the entire army. Within 2 months, a genuine transformation had occurred. Soldiers who once struggled to hold a musket properly now marched with real precision and discipline. Beyond drill alone, he overhauled the camp's entire sanitation system, dramatically reducing disease, and built a structured system for training future non-commissioned officers. That May, Washington organized a military parade to celebrate news of a new foreign alliance. He watched in stunned silence as his once ragged army marched with precision. Congress soon formally appointed him Inspector General with the rank of Major General. The former unemployed captain now held a genuine rank earned entirely through merit. That June, the newly trained Continental Army marched out to meet British forces at Monmouth, New Jersey, under brutal, punishing summer heat conditions. After an early tactical retreat through the advance into confusion, Washington personally rallied his troops and ordered them to hold their ground against elite British infantry. For the first time in the entire war, American troops held formation under sustained pressure instead of scattering, absorbing volleys that would have broken them months earlier. When British troops charged with bayonets, the same tactic that had broken American lines repeatedly before, the Continentals stood firm and counterattacked instead. The battle proved tactically inconclusive, but its real significance was undeniable. An army that had nearly collapsed in the snow now matched Britain's finest regulars directly. The following year, at a fortified position along the Hudson River, American troops executed one of the war's boldest nighttime assaults using bayonets alone, unloaded muskets. They crossed open ground in darkness, climbed steep, rocky terrain, and overwhelmed the defending garrison entirely with bayonets alone, a stunning tactical achievement. That winter, he wrote a comprehensive military training manual, standardizing drill, camp organization, and discipline for the very first time across the entire army. Congress formally approved the manual in 1779, and copies were distributed throughout the entire army. It would remain the official training standard for over 3 decades. He continued serving throughout the remainder of the war, including a role in the tribunal proceedings surrounding one of the revolution's most sensational espionage cases. He later traveled south to assist with organizing troops and supplies, though his time there proved difficult, clashing repeatedly with militia leaders resistant to foreign command. After recovering from exhaustion, he rejoined the army for its final major campaign, commanding one of Washington's divisions during the decisive siege of Yorktown. When the besieged British army finally surrendered, the soldiers executing that disciplined siege were fighting with skills instilled at Valley Forge years earlier. In the war's aftermath, he helped Washington with the delicate task of demobilizing thousands of soldiers and proposed early ideas that would eventually shape American military academies. In T-by-Sa, he was formally discharged with honors and granted American citizenship through a special act of Congress. The fabricated foreigner was now officially American.